Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Barnum Stadium on the beautiful campus of Romeo High School for tonight's NISA soccer match featuring the visiting Maryland Bobcats and your Michigan Stars. Officials for tonight's soccer match as designed by NISA. The head referee, Justin Januowitz. Referee number 1, Fernando Pena. Assistant referee number 2, Megan Pursuit. And the fourth referee is Mark Rokowski. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Active duty and veterans may leave their caps on while rendering the military salute as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Well, welcome everybody to Friday Night NISA on FIFA Plus. We're coming down the backstretch of the regular season. We've got a big one here at Barnum Field in Romeo, Michigan. It's the Michigan Stars taking on Maryland Bobcats. Happy Friday, everybody. Mason Lowry and Chris Black, great to have you here. You know, I don't know what it is about these two teams. Usually something bizarre or really cool happens when they get together. You remember last year Maryland came here. We had that game that ended 10-9 with 3 sendings off in the first half. Earlier this year, Maryland came here again and scored 2 goals in 3 minutes to win 2-1. A couple of weeks ago when they played in Maryland, I guess it was the exception that proves the rule, a goalless draw. That's kind of an aberration given what happens almost always when these two teams play. And there's a lot on the line tonight. Maryland sitting in 5th in the league table right now, trying to cement a home game in the first round of the NISA playoffs. And if you're Michigan Stars, you still have a chance to get that 2nd seed behind Chattanooga and miss out on the quarterfinals altogether.
Yeah, you saw the officials right there giving their send-offs as they're checking the goals right now. But that's a group that you never know. Is the 4th official going to be the hardest working man in the stadium today between the 2 benches, or is it going to be the center in a difficult day? Sometimes you said physically, but yeah, you're right. A lot is on the line. 3 points between the 2 of them. 2 games in hand though on this Michigan Stars team, but still, you still have to get the points. You still have to win the games. Doesn't matter how many games you have left in hand. And right now, of all the teams in front of them as well, they at least have 1 game in hand over everybody. So a good position for them to be in, but they need to get the points and might as well do that right now, of course, and make it affect someone that you're in a battle with that needs the points as well.
Both teams looking for points. Leon Marich and Darwin Espinal looking for goals. Very much in the conversation to win NISA's Golden Boot. They each have 10 this year. Marich's last 4 have come from the penalty spot. They're just 1 behind Marcus Nagelstad of Chattanooga FC, and we've gotten to know these guys over the years too. Incredibly dangerous players, but they do it in different ways. Marich, we talked about it, lethal from the penalty spot. Big hold-up man who gets better all the time. Darwin Espinal is a transcendent talent at this level. He really is.
Yeah, and you figure a game like this, you're assuming at least 1 penalty kick. It just depends if a card's going along with it. So you figure maybe they're going to get their chance there today. Credit to his teammates for getting in position to get those penalties for Marich today. But you know what? Every game's different, so we'll see what happens today and see where the goals come from. both the back lines, trying to do their strikers a favor as well, trying to put them in a great position and keep the other striker off that tally sheet.
Off we go. Michigan Stars in all white, Maryland in black and gold. Philip Burnett, the right back for Maryland, clears that up the far side. Barry Sharifi trying to find the feet of Leon Marich. He is clipped in an early free kick from out wide for Michigan Stars. Tatenda Makruva, the captain, is in goal. Kotaro Umeda, Leon Marich, Andres Shalbot, Hunter Olsen, Ahmed Shaibu Jr., Garrett Hogbin. Artem Baranovsky is back. He's missed the last couple of matches for the Stars. He'll partner Hogbin in the center of defense. Thomas Pranitsa, Barry Sharifi, who joined in August and have really given a boost to the Michigan Stars attack. And Anthony Bowie rounds out the starting 11 for the Stars. Bowie was the Stars player sent off against Maryland here last year in that game that ended 10-9. I'll run you through the Maryland starting 11 in a moment. Kotaro Umeda over the free kick. A little bit of a delay, and I have no earthly idea what for. Well, I do remember a situation earlier this year when kickoff was delayed by about 90 seconds because there was a drone flying over the pitch.
Yeah, Marich is over on the sideline being attended by trainer. Now he's allowed back on.
Might have had a little bit of blood after taking that spill. Now with the black athletic tape around his left forearm. And at 6'5", he obviously is a guy you want in the box to get on the end of a free kick. They found it right there. It's in the back of the net, but the flag is up near side. It won't count.
You did see on this ball's whipped in, you could see Marich was in a tussle match already with somebody. I wonder if she wasn't calling offsides and instead she's actually kind of calling out the foul that she saw because wasn't quite sure how that could have been offside there. I'm assuming that might have been what it was. Either way, goal off the board.
That was the Stars having one disallowed on their first attack. So that's the feet of Alex Sutton wearing my favorite goalkeeping shirt we've seen all year. That really looks smart. Jocelyn Pasayan, Darwin Espinal, Richard Forca, Pierre Richard, Abdou Yam, Francisco Villanueva, Andrew Wivel, who leads Nisa in assists with 6. He's tied with Edwin Rivas of LA Force. Manny Gonzalez, Philip Brown, and Philip Burnett. Ball at the feet of Manny Gonzalez. The Bobcats, 9 wins, 3 draws, 8 defeats this year, coming off that goalless draw with the Stars a couple of weeks back. It's Makruva finding Anthony Bowie. That's Shalbot, who got his first goal of the season in the Stars' 3-2 win at Salt City Union last time out. The other 2 goals, Leon Marich penalties. Umeda's long ball, that's a decent one. Sutton was outside of his box, had to head that away. Tatenda Makruva, of all people, scored a penalty against Maryland earlier this season. Their first meeting, it was 1-2-0 on 2 late goals. The Makruva penalty, and Nash Popovich, who came off the bench, is no longer with the Stars, but he had the opening goal of the night. He made a big impact, didn't he? The first half of the season, Popovich coming off the bench, scored a couple of times, scored in their Open Cup loss in extra time at Indy 11.
When you think about how important depth is anyways in this league, and you know, losing anyone that's already putting their stamp on games is difficult as it is, and the only fortunate side is early enough to be able to get replacements in.
The sign with a neat turn. This is Villanueva. Big body on the left side of defense at 6'1". Played collegiately at Washington Adventist. Changing the point of attack. That's off the chest of Hunter Olsen. Trying to tap that down the line for Thomas Pranitsa. The cross is deflected. Bobcats able to clear. Pranitsa and Sharifi have been two really good additions to the squad, along with DJ Dean, who is not available tonight. Baranovsky coming ahead, finds the feet of Leon Marich. Olsen giving chase, but that's all the way through to Alex Sutton, who's been the starter for most of the year for Maryland Bobcats. After a 5-year college career at Lafayette, where he got a degree in economics. Came off of Andrew Wivel, challenging the much larger Ahmed Shaibu Jr. Getting a start at left back tonight. Last year's regular left back, Jacob Campbell, has been out for most of the season with an injury. He had to have hernia surgery right after the NISA championship match last year. He played through the pain of a hernia the final third or so of the season, and we've seen him sparingly this year. Baranovsky didn't get enough on that, but Pasayan, the captain, puts it out of play.
The Stars team does have a lot of options at outside back. It's been good news because how many they've needed, but they do have some really good outside backs playing up the field as well. The question is, comes down to need at that moment. Try and get the most out of your lineup. Bowie, obviously, that's one that we've seen if you watch this team that is an exceptional outside back, attacking minded, get forward in a hurry, but he's being called for well up the field, getting him close to the goal.
Umeda's tackle. Nobody up there on that right side for the Bobcats.
It's actually fun to watch on this right flank. You've got Bowie up top on the flank, Shalbad sitting in the back at the right outside. They're going to work so well with each other right there. Not quite on with that pass getting out to him.
That's a poor ball. The Bobcats could launch a counterattack. That's Espinal with Abdou Yam on the left, trying to send the cross in, and Shaibu will watch that go behind for the goal kick.
And on the previous play, the Stars had a lot of motion. You actually saw Bowie make a run all the way up, come across the top of the top line for them, opening up space for Shalbad to run into. And I think that's just an idea that he's going to have because he knows what an outside back wants. The Stars are not able to get the ball up to Shalbad as he made his run.
Baranovsky, long for Bowie, might find him. Anthony Bowie is in. That'll run just wide. Contact between Bowie and Sutton. It's a goal kick for Maryland Bobcats. A glorious opportunity in the 9th minute.
That wasn't, what a touch of class on that touch off his shoulder to keep that going with momentum right there. Trying to power through it.
It's really good goalkeeping by Alex Sutton.
Came out pressured. If he, in that situation, his guys are beat. If he just sits on his line, he's kind of stuck, isn't he? He came out, tried to force the issue, make a play on it. In the end, doesn't get hit with it, but at least took enough angle off that Bowie had to rush it, make a play right away, and just a touch wide.
That's good. Olsen releasing Umeda. Lovely spin from Barry Sharifi, and Olsen's up ahead of him. He'll have options in the middle. There's the low cross, pulled it back, it's blocked. The offside flag was up anyway. It was Pranitsa's run through the middle. Really good build-up play, though.
It wasn't. And well-timed runs from everybody. Apparently someone was just off, but the fact that it's not just one player making the run, you've got multiple runs. Bowie was actually on that far side from where the ball was. He was getting there in a perfect time to that far post. That allowed runners in behind as well. A lot of options in that build-up.
Shalbad, that little header back to his goalkeeper. To Tenda Makruva, kept 20 times by the national team of Zimbabwe. Garrett Hogbin joined from Cal United Strikers, part of the new back line this year. Matt Constant and Vasilio Zogos were so good during the championship season last year. Baranovsky and Hogbin as a duo, they've found their feet as this year has progressed. Ahmed Shaibu Jr., of all people, was up there. He's not somebody that we see no matter where he's playing on the field, whether he's a sitting midfielder, a center back, or a right or left back, and we've seen him really everywhere in that back 4 or 5. You almost never see him that far up the field. Though he did get a goal against Gold Star not too long ago. Here comes Pranitsa with 4 Bobcats around him. We know he's got plenty of pace, dealt with by Richard Forka. Sliced out for Michigan Stars throw-in. Anthony Bowie, as we've come to know him, has a really good long throw. Sharifi wanted to take it quickly, but Shalbad was telling him, no, wait for Anthony. Bowie, 2 goals, 3 assists this season, both goals coming on the same night against Gold Star. That was the Gold Star home game that was here because of their well-documented field issues. Bowie's throw is a good one, headed on, but wide. Came off of Baranovsky, I think. Closer to the corner flag than the frame of the goal in the end. As Hogbin races back. I've really liked the way, so far in the first 12 and a half minutes, Chris, the Stars have moved the ball around.
Yeah, attacked different ways, different sides, and really everything was underneath until they took a shot downfield, and they got a great opportunity out of it, and that was the one that Bowie just missed with.
Jarwin Espinal stood up by Andres Shalbad.
Espinal's got as far up the field as Bobcats have gotten today. He gets tackled 30 yards away from the goal.
It's really true. Bowie, I think, might have gotten a Maryland player's studs to the top of his foot. And they'll stop it to check on him. And I just heard somebody from the Michigan Stars bench bellow at the referee. It was right in front of you.
And he immediately waved it off when he saw the contact.
Justin Janulewicz is the referee. Fernando Pena, Megan Brasser, the 2 assistant referees. Mark Lorkowski, the 4th official. Anthony Bowie is good to go. Baranovsky for Pranitsa, who can play on either flank or in the number 10 role. Both teams, it should be noted, without one critical piece because of yellow card accumulation. Jamie Filerman for Maryland Bobcats and Andrew Berriman for the Stars. Here's Bowie. Well, he could only roll that off of the Maryland defender who was running with him. It's behind for a corner. It was Villanueva, the left back.
As you said, that's a huge stop at Villanueva. And Bowie's that kind of guy that's trying to cut that corner, and we've seen him numerous times doing it today. In the end, just getting a corner. That's a significant win at that point.
Umeda's delivery, his last set piece delivery, ended up in the back of the net, but it was disallowed. That's headed into the ground and caught by Sutton. Espinal rolling that to the far side, and Burnett. Philip Brown making his 4th straight start at center back for the Bobcats. And Yam couldn't quite get that right to release Wivel up the flank. Umeda just came over to right back so that Shalbot could get further up the field. He's so quick, Shalbot. Shaibu. Sharifi turned himself into trouble. He's picked up by Pasayan, who was fouled.
And there you can see why Maryland Bobcats aren't doing a high defensive line. They're pulling back. They're pulling back a little bit, and they're trying to jam up the midfield. The Stars are trying to pick them apart and trying to find a way to free some runners over the top. But Maryland's really compacting that middle third of the field, just trying to slow it down just a bit. So you'll see some searching continue back and forth, trying to get in and out of the inside midfield as they try to find a way to spring somebody.
Pranitsa has Bowie ahead of him. Put back to Sutton. All he can do is thwack that out of play. Well, Bowie so far has been that primary outlet for the Stars. And now it's Pasayan's turn to get stepped on. Olsen trying to win this back, shoulder to shoulder with Burnett. Did well to keep that in play. Marriage dummies, finds Barry Sharifi. Play on with Pasayan still down. Bowie pulling that across. Oh, that clipped the heels of Sharifi. Bowie challenged for that in the air, and the flag will go up for offside against Shalbot. Pasayan's back up now. Were you thinking Shalbot was on there, Chris?
Yeah, that's what I thought. A player wasn't centrally located, was in an offside position, but he's not part of the play. I was kind of surprised. I was watching for it. I was kind of surprised how that became an offside right there, but we obviously have a different elevation and different angle at looking at things from here.
Well, that'll run all the way through, and this is Pranitsa. Tough angle. 3 in the box to aim at. Can he play the right ball? Oh, just wide. I don't think that missed by much. He was trying to curl it to the back post. Goal kick for Maryland Bobcats.
Yeah, you can see Marich had just straight a touch offside, so it wasn't aimed at him. But you're right, just a bit past that far post.
He hit that so quickly. It was a very, very small window of opportunity to get that ball through, and Pranitsa was able to do just that.
Yeah, small window, tough angle. If you're going to shoot, you got to do it quick.
Villanueva with a nice turn. Pranitsa was pressing highest. They've only really been able to venture forward a couple of times so far, the Bobcats. For Espinal. Shalbot's there defending. Gives Espinal a shove in the back. 2 hands on his numbers, and that's a free kick for Maryland.
Yep, just more about where the hands were placed than the actual force applied. Plus, the official's going to make that call. Set piece from a dangerous area, because they could either put this on frame from a tough angle and swing that towards the goal, or they could outswing it away from the goal to try to find a head.
Well, and as we know, there is a lot in this situation that Darwin Espinal can do.
Yeah, so he's going to be on the ball. We'll see how he lines up on this. Of course, Wall's going to be moved back. Michigan Stars bring everyone back. Yep. Oh, yeah, they were close to 10. Very close to 10. They may have rounded down to 4.
If you're 8 yards away, you might be able to get away with it. Not when you're 3.5. Espinal's delivery into traffic. It was a decent one, headed away by the Stars. Espinal might get another crack at the cross. Back with Posayan, the captain. Here's Andrew Wivel. Referee waved play on. And here comes Bowie. He has Pranitsa and Marich up there. This is Pranitsa unmarked at the back post. Comes Hunter Olsen. There he is. Brings it down. Shots blocked behind for a corner.
Oh, that little lift there deserved a goal. Just a touch of glass on the far side. I think it was just too far up, too far down. Took too much time, though.
Crazy.
Definitely changed the point of attack.
Ubeda will be on corner duty again. The referee calling Marich and Brown over. They were tangled up. Philip Brown not giving an inch. Marich trying to shake loose. Still shoving each other. Headed away by Maryland. Big bounce on the turf. Found Sharifi, who made a nice try flicking it infield out for a throw in. Almost took the head off one of our cameramen. It's a very sly little dodge out of harm's way from him.
Head on a swivel at all times.
Hogben coming into space, and Maryland defending awfully deep. You kind of have to against this Michigan Stars team. That's a throw in right at the corner flag.
Yeah, surprising, not taking time. Usually it's you take the time for Bowie to make a run across.
When he was out injured, Hunter Olsen did these long throws, and he did pretty well. Sutton spilled, but cleared by the Bobcats. Good win in the air by Villanueva. And that's a Maryland free kick. Stars have had chances, plenty of them, including a goal disallowed for a foul, presumably after a free kick on their first attack. Tenda Makruva hasn't had to make a save yet. Sutton the busier of the two goalkeepers. That's good to find Espinal. Espinal's run is disrupted by Shaibu. Good turn again. Olsen. Sharifi lost out to Brown. He kept going. This will be all Sutton's. Was a good take by Espinal. Rolling that wide for Abdou Yam. The Senegalese forward. Umeda heads away. All the way back to Sutton to reset. Marich will charge him down. Duyam's only goal of the season came here in that 2-1 win earlier in the season. Pranitsa, well, I'm not sure if that was intended as a shot or a cross to Leon Marich. Either way, it's caught by Sutton.
Yeah, carried way too far. I mean, only way Marich is getting that ball if he runs over Sutton after he catches it.
Which I wouldn't recommend
yeah, I was gonna say,
for lots of reasons.
We don't want to tempt him.
That's Forca. Villanueva. Fui came back to defend. He can be utilized in so many different ways, Anthony Bowie. We've seen him as a right back. We've seen him as a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah.
He can play the 8 or the 10. Or a 6 if you need him to in a pinch. Physical and pacey. There is so much that he does so well. It's always nice when you have a bunch of players in attacking roles who can do and be more than one thing.
Yeah, much more free-flowing soccer within the game. And then, of course, when injuries start to happen, the drawing board doesn't have to get as creative when you've got people that can already be plugged in different ways. And then just their soccer IQ. I mean, Bowie's movement off the ball often has as much to do about someone else as it does with him today. As he keeps trying to get Shalbad forward. It's almost like he owes him a goal. He keeps sliding and trying to get him forward.
Wasn't a great ball from him, though, and it may lead to a counter for Maryland Bobcats. There's no path forward for Espinal. Has to go back to Philip Brown. Flip forward over Pasayan. It's Manny Gonzalez. Brown again. We see that so often here against the Stars when teams are constantly having to go backwards, go sideways, recycle, because it's so difficult to pull the Stars out of their shape.
Yep, and they actually have a pretty high back line right now, and they're still pressing. Bobcats haven't figured out a way to get in behind it yet. Maybe that will come at some moment. But of course, I mean, Tatenda Makruva, he might be at midline anyway, standing in the middle of his center backs at a moment. So you can't really expect to have a lot of spacing behind that back line because he cleans it up so well.
Now Espinal can explode forward. That's overhit, however. Barry Sharifi is down in the center circle. And that will get the trainer on. I didn't see what happened to him.
No, saw him go down pretty easily where it might have just identified an issue he had it prior maybe. But that gets
Nick Nicola, I think, off on a warm-up run. Stars can call on among the outfield players Milo Barton, Robert Yunchai, Prosper Figbeat, Niels Lelouch, and Nicola. Would have been a prime position for Andrew Berriman to play, but again, yellow card accumulation. He's suspended. He got sent off out west back in August. Suspended for that also. Since coming back, he's been a regular sub.
Yeah, if Sharifi can't continue, imagine if Nicola really is the one coming in. It's obviously going to be a shift somewhere else, and that might be, as you were talking about earlier, that might be Bowie into the midfield. Could be Hunter Olsen to the midfield. Let Nicola run out wide. I think it's Yunchai up now as well.
Olsen coming deeper and Nicola playing as one of the wingers makes the most sense to me. That matters very little. How much sense does it make to the coaching staff?
You just imagine with how slowly he's not going off the field that they're trying to buy time for a player to get warmed up and going.
And Enes Djokovic was just waving down to Nick Nicola to get him back from his run. You know, we've been saying all season, once he gets his first goal, they're going to start to come for him. Well, he scored twice off the bench late against Gold Star in that 4-2 win. Two great finishes. One a header from the cross, the other a little half volley from 25 yards. That's a shame. Barry Sharifi has had a really good start to this game. That has to be a muscle thing, one would think. Hamstring, quad, calf.
Yep, because it certainly didn't look like it was impact related. So they're going to let them sub on before the restart.
So
look, I win. I think I win. But we moved into the midfield. I think either makes sense, and it might be free playing as this game goes on.
See what we get from an hour of Nicholas Nicola. Umeda lost out to Espinal. Yam now. It's Manny Gonzalez. Shaibu turned into trouble as well. We saw Sharifi do that 5-10 minutes ago. Pernita made a darting run right up the middle of the field, hoping that Baranovsky would play it for him quickly, but he didn't. Hogman. Too direct.
I played more towards the Hunter Olsen side as well. And Nicola was making his run, but all the way from the right side, that ends up being stacked on top of where Leon Marich was, and he certainly wasn't making that run.
Olsen's won that. And Marich coming central. Marich will line up a shot, and that's through the uprights. Friday night, of course, is a night for high school football. So all across the state of Michigan, that's 3 points.
Get you something in rugby and Gaelic football as well, I think. So something in it for you, maybe. But at least that's good, because that's really the first time I've seen him square up and get an opportunity to find a shot like that in this game. So at least found a moment for it. Everything else has been further into the 18, more traffic laden. That might actually open up some more stuff in behind, as that Maryland Bobcat team doesn't want to allow that to keep happening.
I feel like teams tend to focus on keeping Leon Marich quiet, but the other guy who was involved in the build-up to that was Hunter Olsen, who is probably underrated to everybody around the league. In your view, how critical is he to this team's success?
Well, you think about it, obviously you got to have build-up play. This team is pretty built to have that considerable holding onto the ball, as well as look at all the movement. You've got 5 guys running in towards goal right now, and none of them are where they started positionally wise. It's pretty much free play, go to where you need to be, interchangeable players, and Hunter Olsen's a kid that can do that, can go to different areas on the field anyways. We were already talking about moving him to the midfield, so he's smart enough to do that, but on top of that, he can score his own goals. I mean, 40-plus goals in his 4 years at Calvin. Yes, it's not the same level. However, the round thing still went through the rectangular thing a whole lot in 4 years. And the ball might be slightly more expensive, maybe not. Depends on what I guess league you're playing in college, but the goal certainly remains the same. So you've got a nose for the goal. You've got a nose for the goal.
Umeda's delivery was dropped down, but then cleared away by the Bobcats. Espinal highest up the pitch for them, and that's Olsen battling to win it back. Marich was coming back from an offside position and couldn't try and latch onto that one. Hogbin for Pranitsa. Oh, that was a risky ball. Got bailed out by fancy footwork from Anthony Bowie. And this is Shalbad, who can dart up the line. Checked instead. Marich touched to the outside, and the 17-year-old Nicholas Nicola. Marich stayed on side here. Can he pull this back across? He can. Caught though by Sutton. It came off of Philip Brown. And Philip Burnett just went down briefly, but got back to his feet.
Yep, Hunter Olsen just over his back trying to win the ball right there.
Can they play in Espinal here? Touch off the defender. Espinal goes down. Referee unmoved. Scooped up by Makruva. They'll try and go quickly. That swung out to Ahmed Shaibu Jr.
And really, they haven't had a deep diagonal ball yet from the side of the field. And that would have been the perfect situation for it, but Bobcats were able to compress it. It took a little bit of time for them to get their shape. But Nicola was finally getting up on this far side. It would have been a great opportunity to finally see a diagonal ball in behind that wouldn't run all the way back to Sutton.
Nicola. Nelson puts that off of Richard Forca. And a patented Anthony Bowie long throw upcoming. Look at the two big center backs and the big left back. Hogbin, Baranovsky, and Shaibu. Extra targets. Marich just kind of hanging around. He was right on the byline. Maybe try and get onto the second ball.
Yeah, I think
it's
that's
up
what it
into
was.
the air.
Yeah, he's trying to drop that offside line back as far as possible so no one else gets on it. And then, like you said, he'd probably step back on, be in line for that second ball if needed. He certainly was busy trying to move someone out of that back line that they didn't want to have to go up against. I think that was Brown that he was trying to get out of the back line, or out of the mix of players.
Umeda. Back to Tatenda Makruva. Nicola was trying to run underneath that. Found its way to Anthony Bowie. Good feet from Shalbot. Another throw in. And again, three of the Stars' four defenders will head up there. Though this time Baranovsky is back deep and Shalbot stays forward. Sutton couldn't get both hands to it, though he was able to push it away.
Yeah, Sutton's certainly not scared of contact.
No, indeed.
Going through that mass of people.
Well, you can't be if you're going to do it well.
No, certainly can't be.
the final 5 of the first half. Different angle to play that throw in this time. Shaibu pokes it wide. Didn't make good contact.
We are until final 5, but you would imagine some substantial stoppage time for this first half.
I would think so. The injury to Barry Sharifi. Shaibu finding Leon Marich. That race for the Golden Boot, he has been more involved, I think, to be fair to say, than Darwin Espinal has.
Yeah, Espinal made a couple of really good runs, earned 1 foul deep into Michigan Stars territory. And the ball that he whipped in on that might have been as much of a shot that was going to be banging around if it's saved for a quick putback as it was actually a cross. But Makruva was equal to it in the end. But you know, good goal scorers, how many opportunities do they need? Just one.
Really.
Just one.
Shaibu fell kind of awkwardly, but he's back to his feet now. This is Pierre Richard. Villanueva having to go backwards, and Pranitsa applying a bit of pressure to Richard Forka, who got himself out of it. Good foot in from Hogbin. But Maryland still trying to come forward. Yam, Richard. Villanueva racing to keep it in, which he will do. Manny Gonzalez. Will he have a go from here? Yes, he will. Good stop by Makruva. That's the first save Tatenda Makruva has had to make all night. And that's a crucial one right at the end of the first half.
You can see the space opening up for him in front of him. And, of course, Stars are trying to keep their shape. No one really pressed him fast enough. I think that's a mistake, as we just saw right there. That's one that Pranitsa is probably going to go, oops, maybe I need to press that one next time. Really nice hit.
That and Ahmed Shaibu Jr. eventually stepped up, but it was a little too late at that point. A rare corner for the Maryland Bobcats. Forka's header is high and wide.
Contingent of injured Stars players actually. It's a herd coming out of the stands, probably trying to go down for the locker room or halftime maybe, but just shows how much talent is not even on the field for the Stars today.
Yeah, injured or suspended. Headed back to Makruva. Spotted Merrick straight up the middle. That's given straight back to the Bobcats, and you do not want to give Darwin Espinal any extra opportunities. Here's Yam from range. Took a deflection, it's another corner. Really, the Stars have been pretty well in command in the first 45 minutes, but can the Bobcats steal one right before halftime?
A lot of energy expended by the Stars to give up a goal at this point in the first half without having one for themselves.
Espinal unable to pick out that top corner. Stoppage time board should be coming up any moment. What are you thinking, 3-4 minutes?
Yeah, unless everyone's just saying, it's still tied. It's good.
4.
4, there it is.
4 minutes of
It seemed like it might have been more than that actually
extra
went
time.
time. But still a 0-0 game anyways. Have to be as tight. Imagine if there's a score in this game, one team would be very upset if every single second wasn't added on.
Olsen, interesting ball across, finds Nicola. Nicola trying to accelerate down the line and then shoves over Villanueva. How much do you like that goalkeeping shirt, by the way?
Well, we saw it in the team sheet, and you see it in the team sheet. Go, obviously the printer's having problems at this point. Now it's squiggly, and wait, no, mate. But the stuff above it's not squiggly. Maybe it is the real one, and you're like, all right, come on. Now we have an interesting kit. At that point, I mean, I think the best part is not a single color on the matches, except for maybe the Hummel chevrons on the shorts and the base white of the jersey. Beyond that, I mean, I don't even know what color you call those socks.
Banged long up the pitch by the Stars. I'll try and come up with a color name. I'll see what I can do during the break. Some kind of teal meets periwinkle or something.
Yeah,
free kick for the Stars.
I'm just thinking of all the people that are complaining about Adidas not making goalkeeper jerseys for purchase during the World Cup. I mean, they better have that jersey for purchase, that goalkeeper jersey, because if you made them that interesting, people are going after them. Someone's going to get them.
Another Kotaro Umeda free kick. Almost the exact same spot in which he put one on a Michigan Stars forehead in the second minute, only to have it disallowed for a foul. He'll whip another one in, much deeper this time, far too deep this time. There are some great shirts in Nisa. Maryland, I think, across the board has done a marvelous job with their kits. Savannah Clovers look really sharp. Flower City Union looks really good.
They have the classic white gold look of Michigan Stars. Their classic kit. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, almost every single team in Nice is on the Hummel side of things. Check out your favorite team's website, see what they have in their team store. If not there, check out Hummel.
Ooh, Baranovsky gave that away, and this is Espinal. Oh, that's great goalkeeping by Makruva. A terrific stop. I think he knocked the goal off its moorings, and he's pointing at it. Let's watch this again. Awful giveaway by Artem Baranovsky. And Espinal whipped that in to the near post, the only thing he really could do there.
Yeah, if he's going to have a quick go, that's where you got to go with it. No, obviously, on a turnover like that, you don't have other guys loitering up on the far side that you can just put it across for a tap in.
Oof. Goodness me. Nicholas Nicola just took out the lineswoman. No. No more of that, please. There were enough sendings off when these two played last year. Referee ordering everybody away.
He's saying less helping, please, less helping.
That was all just so bizarre. Nicola wasn't fouled. He just ran right into the lineswoman. I think he might have been inadvertently kicked in the face by her or something like that from his reaction. It looks like he's grabbing the bridge of his nose.
Oh yeah, you've got the concrete right on the, obviously on the edge, more than likely to hold the track in and whatnot on the edge. It's a ways off, but I mean, really the worst thing that can happen is be after the initial injury is overzealous people helping at this point, and of course they want to back up their player, but they just need to stay calm and move on here.
Yeah, poor Megan Brasser.
Yeah, and on the initial, you thought she was going to get the worst of it, but she was able to limit the contact.
Well, here we go again. Abdu Yam is being held back by, I think that's Philip Brown. Go away, says Justin Janulowicz.
Yeah, if you have the captain's armband, stick around. If you don't, get away. No good can come of it unless you're there trying to bait the other team into something.
And even if you have a captain's armband, you can't hang around.
I think Fisher's probably like, look, I think everyone said their piece. Let's move on. There you go. Now the card. Sorry, right.
The yellow card for, is that Forka? Yes, it is. He was one of the Bobcat players that got red carded here last year. It was Forka and Pasayan. And that, as I recall, was after like 20 minutes in the same sequence. There was a straight red for a foul and then a straight red for something that was said after the fact. And then Anthony Bowie two-footed Felix Anand, the Maryland Bobcats goalkeeper, and you're thinking, oh, geez. You're kind of half expecting at that point the match to be abandoned due to lack of players on
we're
either side.
Yeah. Mandated. Are we going to do a mandated 5-minute cooling off period at that point or whatnot? But yeah, so they're going to keep working on. They're just going to call half. I think that the official probably decided, you know what, stoppage time ran. We're getting out of here.
That's the wise thing, I think, given the circumstances.
It's 0-0, no one's advantage. Let's just get into the locker room.
Well, it was a first half that really was controlled for the most part by Michigan Stars. They had a goal disallowed in the first couple of minutes. They created some chances after that. Saw some really good play from guys like Hunter Olsen and Merrick sent a shot over the bar. Stars didn't have to sub off their attacking midfielder, Barry Sharifi. He was replaced by Nick Nicola, who is still being tended to down on the touchline. Will they have to sub the sub when we start the second half? We'll find out. 0-0 between Michigan Stars and Maryland Bobcats. You're watching Friday Night Nisa on FIFA Plus. back on the pitch. Maryland Bobcats are slowly filtering their way out. There will be a halftime change, which we suspected for the Michigan Stars. Barry Sharifi had to be subbed off with what looked like a muscle injury in the first half. He was replaced by Nicholas Nicola, who in kind of a freak accident on his way out of bounds collided with the lineswoman on the near side. He seemed to hit his head. He was down for a while, eventually got up and made his way back to the locker room, but Robert Yunchai will come on in his place, so that's 2 subs used up for the Stars. And I wonder how much that will change the way they're able to play in the second half.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Robert, if he sits into the midfield or if he stays out wide like they are. Because if he's going to go out wide to the right side, imagine they might try to play through him a little bit to whip some balls in. Kind of more of that player that's going to set some other people up, which if I'm Hunter Olsen and I'm wide left, I'm excited right now because it gives me more opportunity to get on the end of the ball, maybe farther up the field. As we see them start the lineup, that is what's going to happen. Robert Yunchai up on that right flank. And then that means, Hunter Olsen stays to the left side. That might slide around things a little bit, but maybe you look for Bowie to combine with him up that right side, kind of coming from the central side. Shelbod to make the run around him as well, maybe get him forward. Also might change the set piece. Might see Robert shift to some of the set pieces as well as this game goes on. So not the prototypical striker situation where we've talked in prior games about Nicola being more that primary central striker type player anyways, but playing out wide, getting his minutes, find his goals where he could. So now we're back more to someone's going to set some other people up, maybe more prototypical winger that's going to whip some balls in.
Off we go again. No changes for Maryland Bobcats coming out of the locker room. Boy, Darwin Espinal was gifted a chance right at the end of the first half. The little giveaway from Martin Baranovsky. Didn't have much of an angle, trying to whip it to the near post. Tatenda Makruva made a really smart save. Long over the top, looking for Hunter Olsen. Philip Burnett turns that away for a Michigan Stars throw-in. Bowie won't take this one. It's on Olsen's side. Baranovsky and Hogben trot up there into the box. Well, they banged on the door for most of the first half. That's a line drive dealt with by Maryland. Hogben able to keep possession. Olsen sends that in, but right at Alex Sutton. Bobcats went quick. They left Espinal up on the far side, but the Stars able to snuff it out. Back to Manny Gonzalez. Pernitza was trying to win it back. Espinal kept him at bay, unsurprisingly. Came off of Andres Shalbot. And here come the Bobcats. Espinal cutting in, sending it through, looking for Wivel. Andrew Wivel is at a really good season. 4 goals, 6 assists. We mentioned in the first half, tied with Edwin Rivas Jr. of LA Force, leading the league in assists. Played collegiately at Ohio Wesleyan. He's from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Ohio Wesleyan, a Division III power and state power in Ohio for so long back before Ohio State got things rolling, and other squads in the state of Ohio, BGSU as well, some of the Division I programs. That was a D3 program that no one would play anymore. We don't want to play you for Division I because it's just embarrassing. Such a great program, Dr. J. Martin. For years and years, decades.
One of my favorite nicknames in college sports, too, the Battling Bishops. This one will be Anthony Bowie's long throw. This game has been a battle for sure between these two sides. Bowie, good delivery. Pernitza having to go backwards. Umeda swinging that wide to the right for Bowie. Can he get up the line and maybe get across to the box? He'll try to motor that way. Pierre Richard did the dirty work defensively there for the Bobcats. Bowie wrestled him down. Ahmed Shaibu Jr. He had a great chance to open the scoring in the first half too, but hooked a shot well wide from 12 yards. Bowie just kept that in. Cross block, does that go behind? Yes, it does. It's Robert Yunchai up there, winning the corner. His brother Steven just made his debut for his new club in Croatia over the weekend. Came off the bench and played a half hour. Another Umeda delivery. Oh, that one was headed to the near post this time, and it rolls wide. Now Sutton has enough guys up the pitch to bang it long. Marriage sweeping that for Yunchai. Oh, Olsen almost dummied in Pranitsa. Last ditch touch from Burnett, however. Philip Burnett played at both St. Francis and Liberty in college. Makruva backpedaling into his 18. Poseidon putting the pressure on. Really forced a mistake there too. And Yunchai wins the throw in. Bowie took the throw in quickly. Headed away by Maryland. Bowie, good turn into space, has options wide. This is Yunchai. There's the ball in. Looking for Marich. Able to keep this in play at the line. Marich pulling it back, but Richard is there. Marich had to adjust just to stay in front of that. It took a little grazing blow off of the defender that was there with him.
And in the end, that negative diagonal ball he played back was so deeply back that when a turnover happened, put the rest of the Stars in a pretty difficult situation. They recovered well to deal with it in the end. It's so close from going from an attack on goal to a dangerous turnover. Kind of walked that line in that instance.
Only Marich up. Good ball. Burnett wins the throw. Gonzalez and Wivel, similarly technical players. Racing up to try and close off that angle. Found Forka anyway. Poseidon with a little push on Garrett Hogben. Hasn't been the kind of frenetic start that we had to the first half. Stars have already had to make those 2 changes, and I think they moved the ball a bit more fluidly when Sharifi was on the pitch. That'll drop to Pranitsa. Pranitsa cutting in, looking for shooting space. Can't find any. Wide for Marich. Ford away mat in the box. Here he comes down the line. No chance to get the cross in.
You can see what he's thinking there. Had a number of players crashing the 6, trying to get that end line, get that ball across. Those dangerous things when you take that big of a touch. Obviously, someone can try to body up you a little bit. Not that that works that often against Leon Marich when he starts leaning and get ahead of steam, but it worked that moment.
Throw in Bobcats. They've got 3 matches left after this. Home matches against Albion, San Diego, and Gold Star. We'll go down to Savannah on the 18th, and our best wishes to the Clovers. They're dealing with COVID issues. Their match this weekend was postponed. Brown made that awfully tough for Leon Marich. Stars after this will host Club de Leon, hopefully. LA Force, and then go out to San Diego for a makeup game due to weather from last month. The hurricane that hit California caused a couple of cancellations in Nisa. And here's Abdu Yam breaking up in the channel. Yam's shot is high.
Poseidon he had a complaint there, I think, at that moment. He thought he was in, had a little bit of space, probably did, but do you really want a striker that doesn't have the belief in them to score inside the 18? Not usually. It's hard to fault the shot for coming.
Well, and Abdu Yam is a few years removed from his college career, but he played at UConn and scored 46 goals. Hogbin hustling back against the pacey right back Philip Burnett. Richard had to look backwards. There was nothing at all on ahead of him. Espinal, decent ball in, but volleyed away. It came careening off of Manny Gonzalez. Shalbot had it taken away. And great power and strength and balance to stay on his feet. That was Espinal. Advantage was given. Shalbot was trying to foul him but couldn't bring him down.
That's the ultimate insult to injury right there. Trying to foul someone to stop the play. You can't even foul him and take the foul.
Well, he'll do that to you, Espinal. Burnett goes back to Richard.
Stars are trying to pin this in the near side, but Bobcats finally found that split to change the point of attack, and in the end, that's what hurts them. Turnover.
Baranovsky with a good read, but they can't keep possession. Forka all the way back. Brown turned into space and found Abdu Yam. So much that was back and sideways.
Yeah, the happening is when yeah, I know. I heard about that.
Kind of feels like the Stars need to settle down a little bit here and settle back in.
It's almost like, all right, either go full bore, open it up, go direct for a little bit, or settle down. Like you said, knock that ball around and build. Bobcats right now really doing the midfield. I think probably the Stars were better at in the first half as well, just stymieing stuff.
It was Richard winning that. Shalbot at stretch. Yam with Espinal. And room for him to trot into. Gonzalez over the top.
You can see the disappointment. And Manny Gonzalez after the shot goes high, but coaching staff being very positive with him and the whole team. They were very patient for that shot. Didn't get what they wanted out of it, but they got the option out of it, just not the result they wanted. As you were talking about calming down, that was a definite slow restart by Makruva. Even got the towel out to dry off his face a little bit for putting the ball back in play on the goal kick.
It's sideways on the attempted clearance by Maryland. And Ahmed Shaibu Jr. up here from left back. Umeda picked him out. There's the cross, finds the feet of Marich. Nothing there on the turn. Poked forward by Robert Yunchai.
Marich looking for something a little bit softer.
Good read again by Artem Baranovsky. And here's Pranitsa who can run at them. Marriage through the middle. Can he make himself available for a cross? Pranitsa down the line. Goal kick. That's good defensive work by Philip Brown. And you also note in that situation the sheer amount of Maryland defenders that got back and essentially stayed in front of the goal. It was always going to be a really, really tough ask for Pranitsa to get the little cross right if he was able to get to that ball at all.
He was even at some point going to have a hard time finding space to run into because they had compressed it enough. And I was actually wondering if he's just going to try to cut it and get taken down because he was running out of opportunity and running out of options. Go for the foul.
Go for the foul and think, well, Leon's got this for us.
That's right.
Scored a couple of penalties in their last home game a month ago against Flower City Union, then 2 more penalties at Salt City Union. Might as well just call them City Union.
That's a bit of class there, too, taking 2 PKs against the same opponent, same day. It's a little bit of a mind game on yourself.
Andres Shalbut finally got a goal in the City Union match. Away, I don't know if you saw any of it, but it was played at a baseball stadium. Which I guess if you're a fan of New York City FC, not that shocking.
Yeah, I was going to say that's going to be something that's normal in New York.
Portland Timbers, too. That used to be a minor league baseball stadium. Olsen with a good turn of pace to get to that, and he's won a corner from it.
And look where the Portland Timbers are now. It's probably because of the baseball stadium. That's purely why they're where they are now, I'm sure.
Umeda up for another corner. 63rd minute. Still goalless, like it was 2 weeks ago when these guys played on the East Coast. Umeda hits it deep. Pranitsa couldn't quite settle it. Might still be able to get a cross in. Decent delivery in the end, but again, and we've talked about it a couple of times, Alex Sutton commands his area so well.
He's just done a fantastic job through the air. I mean, the danger is usually the goalkeeper taking somebody over, getting a foul out of it anyways, but he's been under control. Quick off his line. Really good vision, spatial awareness. Yes, he's got the advantage. He's got his arms. He can reach up. He's going in between some big boys anyways to get that ball. But on top of that, I mean, he's got to go through traffic.
Great slide in by Olsen. hard to beat him for pace, but Philip Burnett almost pulled it off.
Oh.
Marich almost played himself in there.
Yeah. I thought that would have been high enough for a high kick as well. That might have been Marich was thinking.
Forka's on a yellow card, remember?
Yeah.
Not that that would have been a second yellow. That would be a really soft second yellow, in fact, but still.
Yeah, especially no contact. It's going to be an indirect kick from there, if anything.
One of those nights where you'd love to have Barrowman or DJ Dean available for the Stars. Another impactful attacking sub if you just want to change the look of things up top.
Yeah, because he went to Nicola obviously earlier than they had planned anyways, even being down some players, and now he's out of the mix.
Bowie for Olsen. Marich will run to the edge of the 6. Bowie goes down, free kick given. Umeda got the shot
ball.
in anyway.
That's a well-struck ball.
Really well struck.
But it's a call's got to be made right there. Despite what one of the Bobcats described as shocking. Because we could hear it carry all the way up here. At some point, these Bobcats are going to go ahead and get a yellow card for their troubles and their slowdown. He finally got to the point where Sutton was yelling at them.
Guys, cut it out.
Yep. Let's move on. I will turn this team around.
Might this favor Umeda on the right foot or Olsen on the left? Umeda, well-struck ball from him a moment ago. That's another one, and a really good stop by Sutton diving to his right.
Yeah, great read by Sutton. But yeah, you're right. Same thing I was thinking. Man, he just had to go at it. Why not? Why not? It's going to be possibly through traffic as well.
One end to the other.
And Sutton's leg kick swing before he does that side volley punt of his just reminds me of maybe an over elaborate relief pitcher when they come in.
Deceptive delivery.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out. I mean, if I did that, my leg would probably drop out of socket just from the.
How'd you dislocate both hips at once? Oh, it took a goal kick.
Yeah. I was trying to replicate Alex Sutton, how he punched the ball sideways. I'm not sure if I did it right. It was definitely wrong for me.
Hogbin and Baranovsky and Shaibu again forward. And Marich up there too, obviously. But Maryland has one player close to the halfway line and another at the 25-yard line if you're looking at the American football markings. Hogbin and Pasayan been called over to the referee. Enes Djokovic getting some instruction from, giving some instruction to Anthony Bowie, rather.
I mean, I'm just expecting someone to dive and scream as soon as the ball's thrown in bounds and maybe just get a call out of it.
Smart money's on there being a foul somewhere. Ooh, that's down, cleared away. Shalbot raced up. Shalbot has a hit.
That's worth a try. Number of reasons. Number one, he's about to run into numbers, so you'd already given up. You see it right there, trying to keep it alive. A little touch forward. Not really directed enough, but Shalbot has to have a go. You see right there, 1, 2, 3, right in front of him. He's not going to be able to keep dribbling, not going to be able to pass through it. He already left a man behind him. Have a goal, hope for the best.
Espinal gets the throw. So the Stars have had to make those two enforced changes. Maryland has yet to make one. Marich, great flick to Olsen. Couldn't play in Yunchai.
Yeah, it looked like he's trying to just clip the ball down. Got a little cheeky way to maybe build a bounce off it, but that was not to be. Oh, well headed back, so Makruvikin picked it up with his hands.
Prosper Figby is going to come on. I wonder for whom.
Yeah, if that's a chance to get Shalbot up. Probably won't have long to wait. Or maybe another big body on a set piece. That might free up Marich. Right now, every set piece, Marich has a shadow. And
Ooh, Shalbot got to that. Was not fouled. Referee says play on. That's Bowie over there. Shalbot and Yunchai. Can he play the right cross? That negative diagonal again. Olsen was the closest Michigan Star to it. Easy for Sutton on the deep cross.
Yeah, those negative diagonal balls, they're having a hard time squeezing through because the Bobcats are doing such a great job of getting back to goal. It's almost like they need to change the strategy. Instead of drive that thing across, try to pop it in off of one of the defenders, go for the deflection.
Espinal gets shoved over, and that's a yellow card. First given to a Michigan Star this evening. It's Anthony Bowie. Into the final 20, plus stoppage time. I mean, hey, if Darwin Espinal was going past me, I'd probably do same.
Foul early and often until he goes down.
Yellow card sets the Michigan Stars 27, Anthony Bowie.
Espinal gets fouled for the free kick. Espinal will take the free kick. Little shuffle. Off the wall and behind for a corner.
Okay, Walt does his job. You measure it there. Gonzalez must be complaining about movement on the wall, but I thought the only player that was up in front kind of actually dropped back into in line with the wall. By the time the ball was kicked, but all right, now that's interesting. Now we get trying to go short corner for Bobcats. They're showing that, but also they've got players spread. I'm going to bunch up a little bit now, but prior we always had a lot of traffic.
Ooh. Everybody for the Stars was in the box. Maryland, meanwhile, had 4 outside of the 18. Well, Tatenda Makruva got taken down in the act of trying to send that ball upfield. That's played back and sliced wide. Makruva and everybody in white really wanted Michigan Stars to get a free kick.
I'm assuming then that center official's going to talk to the AR to see if she saw anything. It must be why.
Well, it would have been behind just a little bit anyway, where she would have been looking. Megan Brasser. Prosper Figby is on for Ahmed Shaibu Jr. And Figby just came straight onto the field, charged over to take the throw in. Well, I thought it was Shaibu. Who went off?
Quick audit. So I'm looking around trying to figure it out as well. So we're obviously paying a little bit more attention to the near side of the field, as you can imagine.
Play on. Shaibu. Marich is behind everything. Shelbut trying to cut in. Bowie trying to pop it wide for Shaibu Jr. And Shelbut sticks a toe out at that. Thomas Pranitsa.
Yeah, I just got to the same conclusion. I'm like, wait, okay, I don't see Pranitsa. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Thomas Pranitsa.
Of course, I mean, when you're countering like that anyways, it doesn't matter what position you are. If you're able to get up and in that front line, you're running. So I had to try to figure out, all right, once this settles back in, who really is missing, who's out of position.
Leon Marich gets wiped out by Richard Forka, who protests. He's rolling around, Marich clutching his head. Trainer hasn't been waved on yet. Now he's up. Approaching the final 15 minutes. Can either side take the 3 points? Umeda will send this in. Decent delivery. Foul against Garrett Hogbin.
Is it card Bowie? He's got a card out.
Well. It always happens. Or it so often does anyway. The Stars and Bobcats.
Yeah, I couldn't tell he's running.
It'd be a yellow card for Garrett Hogbin.
Oh, Hogbin, that's who he's running to. I could tell he was running to. I thought he was running the Bowie.
And for the record, I didn't see what they saw. I mean, I saw the foul, and I knew Hogbin would get the yellow card.
Yeah, and he retreated right away. It didn't seem like fighting for. If you shield a player off, you imagine you're going to be getting contact, especially going towards the 6. And
well, the two questions then: will we get a goal before the end of the night, and will we end with 22 players on the field? Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, I imagine
at this stage.
the line was probably at 20 players at the end of the game. Probably, the line was probably 21 to be fair. With these two squads and history. And then with the number 2 and or tied for second place goal scorers in the league, you would have figured a goal would factor in today. And maybe it's a red card and a PK. that would satisfy many different options that this game could have ended up with.
Yeah, potentially could.
Yeah.
Marich, good touchdown for Anthony Bowie. And there's Yunchai over on the right. Wins a corner against the left back Villanueva. Maryland has 2 players waiting to come on their bench. Malik Tamu scored that absolute worldie that beat the Stars here. I think I called it a banger in our commentary at the time. Gavin Shields, Michael Akinkoye, Caleb Pritchett. There's the corner. Headed up in the air. Behind, goal kick this time. And there's a Maryland player down at the edge of the 6.
That official did wave the trainer on.
To Villanueva.
Yeah, for Villanueva. I really figured with Figby into the lineup, I was kind of tunnel visioning on seeing where he goes, because you've got now another, we'll say, solid player in the air and on the ground, seeing how do they deal with him, because before it seemed like they were trying to push away Marich, get him away from the pack. Figby ended up not figuring into actually where the ball was served, but he like split 3 people and moved them out of his way as he went to the goal to change things a little bit. You imagine, again, next time when they go into a set piece again like that, you're going to have maybe Marich freed up a little bit more to be able to get to a ball, because now they have to deal with a couple big guys in there that will not be denied if they want to get there.
So Malik Tom came on for Richard.
And another one for Villanueva, because there's 11 on the field now with Villanueva off.
Akinkoye, I believe. He's a big unit up top, with Tom and Yam also up there. Headed straight out by Anthony Bowie. Yam on the turn. Found its way to Tom. Took a deflection off of Figby. Marich is up there for the Stars, but nobody else. Akinkoye. Malik Tom wide. He scored a couple of times this year, and we know he can cut in and absolutely unleash one. And Olsen fouled his man there. Here comes Darwin Espinal. Espinal has a go! Darwin Espinal finds the back of the net for Maryland Bobcats.
Quick, very quick restart. Ball wasn't even set yet. Espinal gets himself in a great space, and then it just takes a little skip. That's when Crew is trying to get maybe more central. I didn't see a deflection, but at this time of year, it does get a little dewy on the ground. Makes that ball skip a little bit differently. And Stars won't be happy because, number one, they're already trying to argue at that foul against Bowie, then the restart. And ball barely hit the ground before it was restarted. Got to be ready to go.
I hesitated because I wasn't sure if that had taken a deflection somewhere or not.
Yeah.
Based on how Tatenda Makruva reacted to it, he was either completely fooled by where the shot came from, or it did nick off of somebody, and he had no chance to get to it. It'll be Espinal's goal regardless, and that'll see him pull level with Marcus Nagelstad of Chattanooga FC at the top of the goal-scoring charts. 11 now for the year. Marich was offside, but he left one on Philip Brown. And, you know, back to the goal for a second. Did you get the same feeling I did as soon as he cut in and saw a little bit of space and the Stars weren't able to bring him down? Yeah, he's going to shoot, and he'll likely score. Yeah, because that's what he does.
Yeah, I mean, you're a goal scorer. You've been waiting for space. You finally get it. You're having a go at it. As his balance was there as well. He's running to the goal. He's got his body set any way he wanted to. Had enough space to deal with that. I was going to say, up 1-0. It's a little gutsy for Sutton taking it. He wanted it, but it back took him away. There's no point having your keeper that far away. You're up 1-0, maybe 10 minutes, including stoppage time left. Let it back take it.
Six-plus minutes to get one back and salvage a point for the Stars. Bounced past everybody. Baranovsky and Yam. Good flick for Marich. He's full of tricks like that. Yeah, Robert Yunchai went to ground and took out Richard Forka. Figby couldn't make good contact with his head. I think the Bobcats would be more than happy to keep this at the corner flag for the next 7-8 minutes if they could get away with it.
Yeah, they're going to let that ball go to the fence and go ahead and get it themselves, not take it from the ball boys.
Got to go in a hurry. Marich will get support wide. Deflected out off of Akinkoye.
And they had three runners on the far side, making deep runs in, looking for that ball high and diagonal, and just to miss it. Michigan Stars were actually bailed out by the deflection going out for a throw-in.
Found Yam. No whistle despite him being brought down by Shaibu. Good turn. Infield to Marich. Unable to keep it down and no deflection. Figby volleys forward. Yunchai brings it down. Good little turn of pace from him. That's behind Marich and Olsen. Good take there out of the air. This will find Olsen off his chest, trying to cut it back against Burnett. He's able to clear as far as Figby. Bowie. Marich. Offside. Can't get it upfield. Now this would get Maryland even on points with the Stars if the result holds here. There's a cross. Still there. Oh, so close to trickling over the line. Sutton just kept it out. Cross from the right, stop by Yunchai, shooting on the turn. Great stop again by Sutton. Still there, and that's Shalbad winning a corner.
Even on points, if that did hold, the difference is going to be the 2 games in hand that the Stars still do have to catch up to.
And a couple of games down at Club de Leon that were postponed, and who knows if they'll be made up or forfeited, or who knows. Ball in, headed down, right at Sutton.
Yeah, then start your math for different scenarios of how Nice would have to handle that, of course, on, on wins per, or averages, percentages, all that stuff. Just much easier, just take care of business and not worry about it.
Baranovsky lost out to Espinal, the goal scorer. 81st minute strike from outside the box. Right now is the difference. Oh, that's great skill. Maryland Bobcats looking for a second. They just might get it here. Malik Tom, 2-0. Thank you and good night. Garrett Hogman cramping up. Well, this is a terrific move that came from the left, and that extra ball from Yam to Tom started with Akinkoye's run. A really professional second half for Maryland Bobcats, and in truth, the sting kind of went out of Michigan Stars going forward when Sharifi went off, I think.
Yeah, and you think about just the way they're playing, the pace, the attack, the pressure they're putting on the Bobcats, and how they had a hard time getting out their own end. Only just a couple forays to get opportunities, and that was it. And that was it for Maryland, and then injuries happened. Of course, then Nicole at halftime as well, and suddenly you're into a second half where, yes, they've had opportunities, but not able to put any of them away.
Hogben scooped up by the trainer into Tenda Makruva. Niels Lelouch is going to come on for the final few minutes. Little cameo, presumably replacing Hogben.
I'm assuming the center official's coming over just to talk about maybe the stoppage time amount.
Lelouch will come on. I think Maryland's making a change also.
That's Yam, it looks like, coming off.
And Caleb Pritchett, maybe? Indeed. 77 up on the board. Caleb Pritchett. Started against the Stars a couple of weeks ago out in Maryland. It was his first start in quite a while. Five minutes of time added on here at the end. I tell you what, taking 6 points from 2 matches here against the Stars this season, that's a real feather in the cap for the Bobcats.
Yeah, that certainly is, because that gives you, obviously, the points to make sure you solidify yourself in the playoff run, but also that's a team that this keeps happening. Might see in the playoffs early anyways, and now you've got a little bit of what you know works, a little bit of swagger if you meet them again in the playoffs.
Which would certainly be possible. But there's plenty of soccer to be played over the next few weeks before the playoffs begin. Olsen sliding out of the way of Alex Sutton. Just a few minutes away from keeping a clean sheet. Akinkoye on the turn. Plenty of pace and power in him. Obviously, they don't have to go chasing after anything now. That was played to Akinkoye's feet. Left it for Espinal. Gets wiped out by Shaibu, and another free kick. Now, if Espinal were to score from here, he would be atop the goal-scoring charts by himself. Wonder if that was Manny Gonzalez suggesting to Espinal that he just go backwards and eat up some time, and him kind of scoffing at the idea because of what we know he can do from dead ball situations. Yeah, it's that. Forced a really good save from Makruva.
Yeah. Sorry, you must not know what I do here. That's probably what he said back to him.
Have we met?
I'm contractually obligated to go to goal within 25 yards, and I am.
Pritchett trying to hold it in the corner against Olsen. The Bobcats will make another change. A very late cameo for the Irishman Gavin Shields. Gonzalez will be replaced. Yunchai put a foot up there. Thumped away by Brown. Shields with his first touches. Can't be too much time left. Pritchett against Figby. It's played back to Makruva.
Yeah, really well done in a difficult situation for Figby. I mean, a 1v1 became a 2v1 quickly. And all he's trying to do is keep his body between the ball and the goal. Shield off two players, able to dispossess them.
And that's it. You know, the first meeting between these teams in Maryland ended 2-0 to the Michigan Stars with 2 goals beyond the 80th minute here. Espinal and Tom score in minutes 81 and 89. 3 vital points away from home yet again for the Bobcats.
Yeah, in tales of two halves, I mean, it is what it is, right, at this point. And you wonder if the frustration in the first half from the Stars started to weigh on them a little bit because they had so many great opportunities they should have put away, weren't able to. Had some good opportunities in the second half as well, especially the one bouncing around the goal line that wasn't able to be finished, but a scrum by Maryland Bobcats as well as Sutton and finally getting his hands to it kept them out. But a battle both ways. Luckily, nothing got too far out of hand. Hopefully, Nicola's okay, and all the guys that struggled with muscular injuries tonight. But obviously, difficult situation for the Stars to be in, taking a loss as it is. Fortunately, couple games in hand, as this season has more than a few games left to be able to still change the rankings a little bit in this late part of the season.
Yeah, it really feels important to get Barry Sharifi back soon. Andrew Berriman will be available again next time out, and hopefully DJ Dean and Ezra Brown can go again soon. I do think the Stars still have their playoff destiny ahead of them. 2 more home games after this. They'll host Club de Leon next Saturday night. Then on the 12th, that's a Thursday against LA Force before going out to San Diego. Realistically, and again, we don't know from the 2 postponed matches earlier in the year against Club de Leon what's going to happen with that, if they'll be forfeited to the Stars and they'll be given 6 points, if we'll end up doing a point per game thing in the league to decide seedings and all of that, but all the same, Michigan Stars, these last 3 matches of the regular season, the focus is on getting that number 2 seed and not having to play a quarterfinal.